insane potential with Elden Ring Nightreign. Now, I gotta say, I love this game, and I love the grinding aspect, the rogue-like aspect of the game. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. I really do think people should let it cook. I understand the negative feedback of the game. There's a lot of glaring issues with it that hopefully will be fixed within the next update, whenever that may be, whether it's a patch note or a major update. Hopefully they fix it rather sooner than later. What are the main issues that people are generally talking about, and the reasons why it's like in mixed review? Well, there's a good number of things, and all of it makes sense, really. A lot of these complaints are very justifiable and understandable, really. A two-player option, a way to somewhat communicate with the group, and cross-platform. I'm going to tackle the communication part. The other two are, I mean, very obvious. You could solo the game. You can also play in a 3-player squad, but not duos. That doesn't really make sense. I think that's another feature they could just very easily add, in my opinion. Because if you could beat the game or beat the bosses solo, you could definitely do it in duos, let alone doing it in triple, where, you know, generally it's much easier in triple, I would think. Cross-platform, self-explanatory, just means more player to play with. That just means more players overall if we can connect with other people. So that would be a wonderful thing for them to add. Communication. Communication is probably one of the biggest offenders of this. As someone who does not like Souls games at all, playing a Souls-like game like this is it's a very unique experience. I love the game, as I've probably expressed already in this video. This game is fantastic, but the new player experience is atrocious. When I first played this game, I wanted to give up the same way I did with Elden Ring. What I thought would help me, but didn't help me at all. In fact, it was actually worse, is when I brought in 2 players that knew exactly what they were doing. They knew where to go, how to keep their pacing, where to run to, what to do, and all that. Well, I was over here doing fuck all. I was trying to experiment with different ways to play, but the game doesn't really give you time to experiment with anything at all. And it's because of that my experience was not good, mainly because it took me a little bit of a long while to figure out the game. But imagine learning this game completely on your own without any friends telling you, you know, what you should do. I was very fortunate to have friends tell me what to do and all that, but even then it was still tough to do. But solo queue, on the other hand, I can't imagine how tough it would be. The communication of the game is damn near non-existent, and the only thing you have is just a ping system, and that's it. There's no group up, let's rally here, let's go over here all together. And there are some interactions or pop-ups that would come up to you as you're playing the game. It's not really obvious when things are coming up to you. For example, the circle. There's really no indicator other than like a very not subtle sound cue, but there is a sound cue that you kind of just push out of your mind, mainly because, you know, you're in a big fight with a boss, or there's like a bunch of enemies in one place and you're trying to kill them all with your buddies, and so you kind of just miss the mark. Go through these places that you think you want to go or where you need to go, but oh wait, we can't do that anymore because circle's closing in. And now we wasted a good chunk of valuable time because we kind of just zoned out the noise of the fog closing in on us. Yeah, I kind of just wish and hope that they give solo queue players more help in these things, better communication, because, I mean, in Discord, I mean, you have all the communication you need there. You could just speak what you want to say to your teammates, and that's that. I think it's very important to be considerate of solo queue players and help them out in having better communication with their group. In a 3-group setting where all 3 of the players are solo, I think it's a lot better, more engaging, more just better overall if they do more with the communication system. I really do think this game has an insane amount of potential, mainly because of the roguelike aspect of it. You guys know what roguelikes are. Roguelikes are games like Risk of Rain, Binding of Isaac. Those games are iconic for its roguelike style. For those of you that don't know what a roguelike game is a subgenre of role-playing games characterized by procedurally generated levels. stutter, turn-based gameplay, and permanent death. Meaning, you enter a level, you start with nothing, and you go through the level, try to find items that you need, that you think you need, that you want, start making a build that you want, and go from there through each level. You will eventually die a couple times, but that's kind of the point. And once you die, you restart the whole run and get a new slate of levels, items. That's kind of what this game is. It's a roguelike in the fact that you don't know what weapons you might find, you don't know what kind of items that'll help you, like a pot you could throw at the enemy, daggers you could throw, trinkets you can have, a shield, crossbow, anything. Everything's pretty much random. There are some things that are very static that you can kind of just get down, but I personally am fine with that, and I think other people are fine with that as well. I will say this though, the roguelike aspect is kind of weak, but it's very much there. The generations of the items you can get and all that is all random, entirely random, and that's great and all, but I feel like the roguelike needs to be reinforced a bit more. I don't really know how. I can't say how, but I believe in the developers, in them changing things up and reinforcing the roguelike aspect, because I personally do enjoy grinding games like these roguelikes, and if they're able to add stuff to the roguelike side of it, I think this game could be insane. I think this game could last a whole lot longer than I think it's gonna last for, because that's kind of what roguelikes are. You just go at it again and again and again, find out everything that you need, that you want, and beat the big bad boss at the end, whatever it is, and then repeat the process, get neat rewards, all that stuff. This game still has Elden Ring mechanics into it. It still has Souls-like mechanics in it. The boss fight specifically. In base game of Elden Ring, the normal game, I didn't like a majority of the bosses. I didn't like the idea of dying 100 times to each boss. But in this game, because of the things you get, the items you earn, your friends you're with, things you can do, it allows for other people that don't normally play these kinds of Souls-like games to approach the genre in a different sense, in a more faster pace that is more enjoyable for some people that enjoy, well, faster paced games. And that was my main issue for Elden Ring, the base game. It was just very slow. I've already described the things you needed to do in the base game and all that, and in this game it's very fast paced. I really enjoy it a lot, and I hope people that enjoy roguelikes I just hope that they see this game as something that's approachable to them. I will say this, Souls-like games are an acquired taste. And no, I'm not saying it's a unique taste that only a tiny number of people have. The reason why Elden Ring is like game, I think it got like a couple rewards. I'd have to look it up. Yeah, it earned like, yeah, what was it called? The Game Award for Game of the Year, Best Art Direction, Best Game Direction, Best Game Writing. It had all of these rewards. So Elden Ring isn't a shit game. I want to emphasize that. Elden Ring is not a shit bad game. It's just, for someone like me, it's not a game that I'm particularly fond of, nor is it for me. This game remixes that, and now I really do enjoy Elden Ring for what it is right now in this other game called Nightreign. That's pretty much it. I just really hope that they continue with patch notes, make new content. Hopefully, I hope they work on the base. I mentioned this before, I'm gonna say it again. I just hope they work on the base game first, do all these quality of life changes, updates, buffs, nerfs, change-ups, whatever they need in base game, and then I really do hope after they decide to make some really good deals. Jesus, I've been burping so much. And yeah, that's it. You know, I should probably have scripts for these things, these commentary videos. I sometimes feel like I'm all over the place and I don't really make that much sense here and there, but I hope you guys kind of understand a little bit of what I'm trying to say, because I don't really like reading a script. I kind of just say things off the top of my head. But yeah, I will talk to you guys some other time, all right? Y'all be safe. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Oh, I forgot to mention, I do have a Twitch, jojokef.ttv. It'll be down in the description if you want to go ahead and take a look. I stream there daily. And yeah, later.